Hello, 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 hello. How y'all doing? Hey y'all. Happy Wednesday. Ooh, let me charge this phone. Can't get this phone right here. Perfect. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. How are you? Okay. I'm good. How you doing, Benga? Thank you. All right, let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afro-Lucian. And today I'm reading for the Beautiful Handsome Collective. Hello, Collective. How you doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, 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 yes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell to book a private reading with me or to shop in my store. All that information is in the description box below. Okay, let's get into it. Hey, Matlock, thank you, boo. All right, let's see. Ooh, channel message here is they feel drained by life. Okay. Now, as I mentioned to you guys before, that in order for you to live life, you have to have a life. That's really true, like really true. In order to live life, you have to have a life. Meaning you have to pour into yourself to maintain that life. And this person, group of people, whatever, whoever, however, here from the past here, they didn't do that. They didn't know how to maintain life, which is why they always went out of their way and also other people's way to take as much as they could from others. That's how they gained life, or that's how they sustained their life or lifestyle. I think a lot of people miss the opportunity to learn themselves. And I think that is one of the most priceless opportunity that you can learn is about self, you know? Hey y'all. The recklessness and the ignorance of this person's decision, we'll just say group because I'm seeing like 5 or 6 different people keep popping up. So I'm just going to say group, take it how it resonates. Group could be family, friends, ex-lover, whatever, however, okay? But I just see a group of individuals in their own terms or own way, just very sad, very distraught, or more so disconnected from everything and everyone around them because of what they're going on or what they have going on here. They're looking for a reboot. They're looking for a restart. They're looking for an opportunity to basically fix the situation at hand because their life feels drained. And if your life feels drained, that means that something is off with your energy, whether you're doing it intentionally or maybe unbeknownst to you, someone could be around you that could be just trying to take as much as they can from you. And then you know what? You end up drained. That makes sense. So the moment that you pull back your energy from this person, endurance is in reverse, is the moment they start to lose speed or they lost speed. They only had speed because you were around. And every time you came around, they really felt like you were the energizer bunny, or maybe they felt like that. They felt like that they were the energizer bunny that just kept going and going and going and going. That could be spun in many different ways because I could perceive that from the collective perspective and also their perspective. So I'll do that. So the energizer bunny from your perspective would consist of you just always going and going and going. You always have energy. You're always doing things like you're always in a surplus. You're always doing something positive for self. You know, you're a good look for self, you know. On the flip side of it, from their perspective here, they felt like every time they came around you or you were around them, that they always felt really like energized. So they always felt like they can keep going and going as long as you were around. Now, the moment that, which is very odd because they want you around, but then again, they don't want you around. They just want you for, that's it. And the minute that you do whatever it is that they get or ask for, they just leave you high and dry. So it's supposed to, it's like a, how can I put that? It's like you're dealing with someone that's always constantly on low battery. You're the high battery, or you're the battery that's always recharging over and over and over, you know? And they are the battery that's very low. That's the type of battery where you may remember the times when y'all were younger, right? Maybe you can resonate. And when the battery died, you'll put the battery in the freezer, and then you'll get like extra you get like an extra jump, but you always constantly have to keep putting the battery back in the freezer for like a couple days or so just to get that, you know, that. Did anybody do that, or that's just me? I'll use that as an example. When you're playing something, right? And you need let's say you need a battery and you ran on the battery and you don't have anything else left, and you stick the battery in the freezer and you let it thaw out or whatever, and then when you put it back in, everything seems good for some time. Let's say, especially for, I had a Game Boy or a Game Girl, and that was something that I truly loved when I was growing up, and it was near and dear to me because it was kind of like my escape from all the things that I went through. But with that Game Boy, I was always selective in regards to the batteries because I always wanted to make sure that I had enough battery just in case something would have happened or would have went bad or whatever, or may have experienced a bad experience. I would use the Game Boy, as like, okay, I could just kind of like, you know what I mean? Immerse myself in something else. So the battery was very significant. This is figuratively speaking, metaphorically speaking. The battery was very significant because when I realized that once I ran down the battery and the battery became low or dead, and I put it back in the freezer, let it stay in there for a couple of hours or days or whatever, it took out. And then when I put it back into the actual game piece here, it will work really well for like maybe a good strong, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours or so. And then after that, you just start to see it depleting once again. That's how this person is, if that makes sense. Like, you give them that zap of energy, you're yelling at them, you screaming at them, you this and you that, and da da da, whatever the case may be. And then they take that energy from you, and it kind of like zaps them up, kind of like powers them up really quickly, because when you're like yelling at someone and someone is really getting off on that, because you'll know when someone's getting off when another person's yelling at them. They may have a smirk on their face. They may feel very, you know, like real macho and feel like, yeah, you know, you can just tell. But with this person here, okay, with this person here, a group of people here, they don't have the endurance anymore. Yeah, they don't have the endurance anymore. And that's what's being exposed. And then we also have perspective upright as well. The story that they have embellished for a very, very, very long time when it came to you, it ain't doing anything. We have story in reverse. Someone's in a room. Someone's in a room. They're like, everything's fall apart. They don't want to face anything. They literally sit in a room for hours and hours on end. Somebody is in like a critical state, mental state. Like critical. We have Cauldron here. The perspective that they gave to others is not the perspective that people see anymore. The story's not sticking because the story wasn't true. There's no endurance. They can't even move forward. They also use other people as well, too, to get ahead. They use them energetically as well to get ahead. with gossip. Well, you will say gossip is like a fuel to an accelerant, or is an accelerant. And when someone comes forward or creates gossip about something or someone or someplace, and it's very hot, it becomes an accelerant, which at some point can create momentum or endurance. But it's in reverse. So if the gossip can't continue and no one else is feeding into the gossip that they're trying to continue, what's going to happen eventually? They're going to run out of steam. They're going to run out of gas. And where exactly were they getting the hypeness or the energy from? But that makes sense. How do you think bullies become bullies? From being hyped by other people. They have yes men or yes girls. And the reason being is because those individuals might be afraid of the bully, so they tend to conform or do what they say or become docile because they're afraid of the bully. This is a scenario here. There was a so-called bully that was supposedly bullying you. And for who can resonate, you just like, child, please, you laughed at that. You like, that's all you got? And people are looking like that, like, what? You're not afraid of the karmic? No. Why should the collective be? For what reason? A karmic? Child. For what reason? I'm just saying, for what reason? So when they realized, because again, the story here wasn't sticking, they said that you, let me calm myself down. They were saying that you were afraid of them because you ran away, you disconnected, you separated yourself, you whatever, however. And they thought by your separation, disconnection, no communication was a form of being afraid. And they capitalized off of the false pretenses that you were indeed afraid. Now, somebody not making sense here. We're going to see who's who. You know, somebody not making sense here. Well, if you're not around, they can create any type of timeline or story that they want. You're not around, if that makes sense. But the true reason as to why you're not around was hidden. The moon is in reverse. Not anymore, though. It was. But yet, we have these ninjas playing with Toy Story candles, don't know what they're doing, actually playing with the moon, the energy of the moon, trying to cloak with the energy of the moon, but don't even realize, and yes, I'm going to, and don't even realize that the same way that you can hide something from behind the moon is the same way that the moon will reveal it. That's why I keep telling you guys, there are two sides to everything. And a true magician would know that. A person that's truly within self will understand that. They ain't making sense. So since you're not making sense, they're in trouble. Big trouble. Like big trouble. Big trouble. Perspective has changed. I promise you, community gonna come out. Y'all know how the cards come out. Perspective and cauldron. They have no endurance. They have no story, no storyline to continue this foolery, this tomfoolery. They never thought their whole life or existence will be exposed. Why not? I don't understand. Why don't they think that? Or why do they think that they would not have been exposed? This is good. This is crazy. Someone's name is Amber. Thank you, Spirit. The endurance is in reverse, right? They needed you to also keep up with the charades or the endurance of the false story that they had said about you, because if you weren't involved, it won't happen, it won't work, it won't stay together, it's going to fall apart. Despite them feeling that they did have the upper hand in regards to the perspective or the narration of the whole shebang. That makes sense of how everything happened between you and that person, family, whatever, however, okay? They playing with the moon to hide themselves, but yet the moon still revealed themselves. You gotta, oh man, stupidity's at an all-time high. Stupidity is at an all-time high. I swear to God. Anywho, we got lost here, child. How did that happen? Oh my God. Da da da, dee dee dee, da da da, what da da. My name could be Dee Dee, Deidre, Deirdrick, Derek, Antoine, Antonio, San Antonio. I'm hearing El Paso. Oh goodness, you know I gotta put a little jingle jangle in it sometimes, you know. Lost. I'll even use the moon in a different way. I'll use a different perspective. When we women have our menstrual cycle, that is a proof or sign that you're not pregnant, correct? So, because our menstrual is connected to the moon is what I'm basically saying. And since our menstrual is connected to the moon, when the egg's not fertilized, it breaks down, and this is when you have a menstrual cycle, right? Every 28 days, 14, 15, 16, whatever, however, you catch the drift. That coming down the menstrual cycle is a sign that there's not a baby there. Somebody could be pregnant. You could be pregnant with twins. You just finding out. You shocked? You should be. Somebody kept asking for twins and you finally got your twins, boo. So congratulations. Yeah. You've been asking, you got it. Anywho, let's keep going. We have wings. Somebody could be eating chicken wings. Chicken wings could be your favorite snack or food to eat. I'm also hearing bologna sandwich. So with the loss of the story and the endurance, because the false story lost endurance, there was a new perspective in amongst the community of people that they were speaking ill about you towards or to. It opened it up, or more so, things were revealed where now they are experiencing a lot of loss. They have no energy to keep up with this. They truly don't, because people are down their back, even though they're distant and far away from them. People not rocking with them. People talking nasty about them. People don't have the. I wonder how does that feel? Dang, that's crazy. They can't handle it. Tough cookie. It says humanity. Yes, I'm telling you, humanity, community of people are just watching in disgust. Like, what are you, for what reason? There go my body. There go my body. People have lost all respect for these individuals. Happiness is in reverse. Yeah, karma. Karma. They feel ashamed. They feel so ashamed. Yeah, burning up tears. They feel ashamed, man. Dang, that's crazy. Ain't that something? Wow. So the truth had to come out in order to slow them down. That's crazy. But yet, remember, they said they were speaking truth, right? So here we go again. Let's talk about it. If they were so-called speaking truth, why are they in a burden of tears? Why? If they're so-called speaking truth, why are they so unhappy if they were so much speaking truth? Let's talk about it. Hold on. I ain't done yet. Why is the karma so harsh and brash if they said they were speaking truth? Somebody lying here. And it's not the divine collective, but somebody lying here. They feel drained by life. They literally had no life. Look at the type of things that they have done. Hold on, let me get this stuff out of here. Okay, thank you. There you go, you got it. Look at the type of things that they have done. They literally had no life. So someone that doesn't have life is going to do what? They're going to do lifeless things. What will be considered lifeless things? Reckless behavior, no autonomy of self, ignorance of self, self-destruction of self, and so forth and so forth and so forth. No life is in that. There's no life in that. Arguing, fighting, toxicity, violence, etc., etc. There's no life, literally, figuratively. There's no life in that. And since we're able to correlate and have we can confirm their behavior based on the activities that they have done or based on the intentions that they have created, we can all see here who was really telling the truth versus who was not. Their actions showed, or their actions showed up for them, or their actions but going back to lifelessness, the things that they did didn't give life. It took away from it. And that's what a narcissistic individual, group of whatever, however, do. They take your life away, literally and figuratively. Spiritually too, mentally too, psychologically too. For the sake of a story that never existed. A story that they made up in their mind that never existed. They needed other people, an entourage of CUNTs, to come together to make this so-called false positive story stick. Now look what happened. You ever had a false positive test before? And if you have, what did you have to do? Did you not have to retake the test again until you get either the positive or the negative? So that's what they kept doing. They kept trying to reinvent the story or reinvent the wheel as to how they wanted people to see or to perceive you. That's why the story could never stick. That's why the story could never stick. They don't make sense. And for me, I cannot stand an unintelligent individual. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Yeah, common sense at least, because these are not common sensors at all. They have none. But they truly feel that they're bigger and better than you with no sense in their mind. That's not making sense. That's nonsensical. Very nonsensical to me. That's not making sense. The story can't stick. It never sticks. And mad at you because you can see that their story don't stick. So they want to penalize you because their story don't stick. Rubbish. Foolishness. This is Hawk on Spit vibes. This is what this is. Frothiness, nastiness, messiness, frowsiness. They can't even stick to a story because they keep trying to reinvent it every time. Every time. Secret. What secret? What secret? Trying to keep a secret from you. They can't keep you away from you. Like what? Like you're the best secret quiet. What's that saying? Best quiet secret. It's a certain saying. Let me see. Best kept secret. Something like that. I think it's best kept secret. Where is my... I believe it's best kept secret. Best kept secret. Hey, Tracy. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. Okay, got it. Okay, so best kept secret means something that is highly valued or enjoyable, but is not widely known. Only kept hidden or shared with only a few people. So it's more so like gatekeeping in a way. Like they were trying to gatekeep from life because they knew just how much life you had to offer or how much life that you give. They didn't want anyone taking it from, they didn't want anyone having access to you. They wanted to be the only one to have access to you by any means necessary. And while you sitting here worried, they just sitting here just trying to take as much as they can from you. No. No. Nope. Some narcissists feed off of fear too. Not all, but some. And that's another topic. Ooh, Lord. But now this is the position that they're currently in. Fear and worry. Someone's name is Latoya, or Matoya. I'm also hearing Natoya. Hey. So a person, thank you, Spirit, a person who cannot keep their story straight, what does that entail to you? How would you perceive that? Someone that cannot keep their story straight. How would you perceive that in your own words? Guilty. Iris says guilty. Liar. And I agree. They really thought that they had you in a position where fear and worry would have been the ending of you. They really thought they had you because you went away quietly. And they didn't realize by you just disconnecting from them, that was the time that you needed to really truly get yourself together, to heal yourself or do your healing work and things of that nature. They really thought they had you. So the moment that you came back out, meaning you back on social media, you posting again, whatever, however, because I feel like some of you guys may have taken a hiatus or a break from social media, and now you're just coming back on, however long it's been, right? Now they're in this position. Now they're in this position. I kind of felt like you were led to come back on social media. Like at one point in time, you was like, man, I'm out of here. Social media not really doing nothing for me right now. Let me kind of focus on myself. And that's what you did. You went within and you faced this. For the ones that are working on what they're working on, you faced this. While you faced the worries and you faced the fears of your worries. You said, well, if life is this bad right now, how much better could it be? And you started to fix yourself. You started to work on doing whatever it is that you needed to do to ensure that you are at your best for self. And that's what they weren't anticipating, because they thought or assumed because you were by yourself that you were in hiding. You were never hiding anything. You didn't even take to be honest, some of these individuals may have threatened you, like, bodily harm, physical harm, things of that nature. They may have tried to, or may have done it, but it didn't put you in a position where you were for, not, this all ain't gonna resonate for everybody here, but for the ones that didn't like buck down or anything, like you will kind of stand up to that person. So you probably be going toe to toe with the person. Yeah. They are so worried and they are in fear because the story's not sticking. You were not supposed to pop back out. That's what they weren't anticipating. You are the official person. Yes, you are. You are the official person. And that's how people are starting to recognize you as the original and the official person. Based on the stories that is not sticking with them in regards to what they stated about you behind your back towards others. So now you look like a plum fool. We have change. Now they drain my life. Man, Jesus, man. Oh, man. It's a mess, child. It is a mess. We have coffin here, and we have marriage. So someone's getting a divorce. It's an ending of a marriage or a connection. Someone's breaking up. Someone's learning that their significant other could be really, not well. And they're willing to do some really odd things to prove a point, if you catch my drift. And that's being exposed. And that's a concern to the community because they're looking at this person as unstable. But this person said that you were, and you're not. Your story stood the same over and over and over again. You could say your story with your eyes closed. Your story never changed. And that's where they fumble. A mature woman fumbled. Yeah. A mature woman, marriage could be ending in a divorce. You could have been the mature woman that had a divorce. You could be a young woman, but just mature. You could be a mature woman. Or this could be a mature woman, elder woman, mother, grandmother, aunt, sister, whatever, that's getting a divorce. So however that resonates, okay? 36, did you get a divorce at 36? Or you could have been born in 63. Maybe this happened 36 years ago. Yeah, look, bad health. And there's a mature man in bad health. I'm hearing the name Nelly. Like, whoa, Nelly. When I say the community is disgusted, baby, oof. There's a mature man in bad health, child. Bad. Could be 56, 65. Could have been born in 53, 51, 59. Somebody just had a funeral for a grandparent, like maybe about a month ago or so. It was very recent. Someone just buried their grandparent. It could have been like your last living grandparent or the last key to everything or something like that. If you recently had a grandfather that was sick and passed about like a month ago, expectation is in reverse. So that's whoever grandfather is watching over you very strong, okay? So very strong. We have expectation in reverse. So this woman here wasn't expecting things to play out in this way. Neither was this mature man. This mature woman could be freaking out in a home. And I mentioned earlier in the read that there was someone in a room freaking out because they weren't expecting this. You weren't expecting what? All they do is take that back. All they go around doing is adding or pushing people into lifeless situations. That's all they did. And they thought it was funny. Again, gossiping, arguing, fighting, all of these things are lifeless things. It doesn't add value to your life. It does not. Arguing doesn't add value to your life. Toxicity doesn't add value to your life. Gossiping does not add any value. Or maybe you do. Maybe you do. Because you really could benefit from gossip. But I'm going to stick it on I'm going to stick it on one side. In this instance here, a lot of things that they had or they offered were lifeless things. That's it. That's all. So someone that has all the life, oh, you give life, girl, you look, you know how they say the saying, They looking at you with all the life within self. Where'd you get that life from? Well, I got it from God. I got it from the universe. I got it from Jesus. I got it from my ancestors, my spirit guides. I got it from the creator. I got. When you connect, you gonna shine, boo. I don't know how many times to keep saying it. I'm telling you, if you connect, you gonna shine. I promise you. And the more you stay connected, the more you gonna shine. And it's gonna be almost impossible for you to be hidden. And it was like you were outgrowing this stagnancy or this dark space that this person tried to put you in, or this group of people try to put you in. False person. Is now in poverty. You shouldn't laugh at other people's downfall. Man, eat a, okay? Go ahead, suck an egg, heifer. Don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna laugh. The hell? Shh. You don't tell me what to do. I'd rather laugh at shit than hurt you. So go suck an egg, okay? Hell wrong with you? Shh. You shouldn't laugh at people. If they friggin' deserve it, absolutely. Absolutely. We have goodbye. What I'm talking about. Goodbye is here. I don't know if you hear the doom, the doom, the doom, the doom, the boom, the boom. I don't know if you hear that back there. I'll take that as confirmation. Anywho, we have honesty. So, saying goodbye to honesty, that was the key to get them out of this mess. It is the key to get them out of this mess. And even though, despite honesty is the key to get them out of this, do you think they're going to use that key? Do you? Because the moment that they use that key of honesty to open up that door is the moment all of their lies fall out. And they're not ready for that. Behind that door of honesty is nothing but lies. That's why they saying goodbye to honesty, which is very odd. How you gonna say goodbye to being honest? Being honest? Huh? So you can't just say what it is? Can you, so you just can't say what it is? My God. But these are the people that call us unintelligent, bruh. You don't know how that does piss me clean off. For real. I'm being so for real. I'm being so for real. Look, dishonesty came out. It says goodbye honesty. Goodbye honesty. Like, hello, dishonesty. They had the opportunity, because they had the opportunity to get out of the situation. They did. The situation, or more so, the opportunity was to tell the truth. That was the opportunity. And they didn't. And the reason why they didn't tell the truth is because they had support of their dishonesty towards you. Yes, they did. Man. Hey, boo. Man. Somebody listen to Selena? I'm hearing Como La Flor. Look, we have perspective. And not only that, thank you, Spirit. Look what came up. It say revenge and perspective. Now people are seeing them in a different way because they keep trying to get revenge on you. And it's like, well, why are you getting revenge on them? You said that they were afraid of you. You see, listen. The karmic's telling people that you are so afraid of them and you this and you that and da 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 da, like it's your fault and you this and you that. And when you pop back up and you showed up and you doing, you know what I mean? Now look, the perspective has changed because the story has changed. You're no longer on that timeline. You're no longer in their storybook. And once they realize that you realize, before other people realize, they try to get revenge on you. And that's when the perspective change. Now people looking at them like, yo, what's going on with you? Why are you acting like that towards the collective? Well, because but you said they was afraid of you. You said they was this and that. And you looking like who? Afraid of who? The karmic? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Be afraid. You know what I mean? Now everything is coming together and they're like, uh-oh, what did I do in that kind of way? This is why they wanted revenge on you, because they didn't want you to speak the truth. That's why they never took the door in the first place. You were the honest one. You were the door to change their life. You were. And they said no. They did not take the key that you had to offer. They said no. Fine. Goodbye to honesty. And they tried to dash you away. They tried to dash you away like rubbish. In a dishonest way. Not honest. Dishonest. Because they weren't even honest about their dishonest. Man. They're not even honest about their dishonest. Man. Obligation. Excuse me. Obligation. They felt that it was obligated to get revenge on you. For what? For what? For what? And that's when people saw the real them and realized that they weren't telling the truth. Gotta be careful how you talk to people and what you say behind people's back. I'm telling you, it's a duality in fertility. Things are growing back into a balance, or have grown back into a balance. We have Leo and there's no sign on that. So just Leo. Somebody's birthday could be on the 29th or the 27th. Somebody could be born on February 29th. Gratitude. Man. You see how the cards fall out? I just realized duality, fertility. So things are growing back into balance because of the gratitude that you have. The gratitude. People, man. Gratitude is a form of manifestation. It truly is. People always overlook the smallest things. Having gratitude starts small. And a lot of people just skip on, what's that? Man, that's all you got? I don't want that. I could get some. Okay. Whatever. Now look at them. They feel drained by life. They do. And they try to bring you down with them. Remember, they had no life. Literally, metaphorically, figuratively, they did not have any life. And they showed their behind every time that you guys walked cross paths. Every time they showed their behind with the no lifelessness of what they have done. And they were okay with that. They thrived in it. But in order for them to stay in it, they needed other people to believe their foolishness. It is pretty sad, very sad. Anna says pretty sad if you ask me. Absolutely to-the-rootly, period. Very sad. Okay, absolutely. This is, man, Spirit, thank you, boo. Gratitude, victory, and attraction. I just love how everything just falling right into place. With attraction and victory here, because of the gratitude that you had, you attract. You attract a lot of things when you have gratitude. When you're thankful for life, when you're thankful for self, thankful for whatever, however, you're just thankful, just generally speaking. It puts you in a victorious position. You thinking so highly of yourself, you know what I mean? You look handsome, you look beautiful, you this and you that, all great things, and you know what I mean? You won't put yourself in a very victorious situation, period. And it started from gratitude. Wow. It started from gratitude. It grew, the fertility of it grew, or the soil of the gratitude that you were growing grew, and it balanced things out. This is someone that you helped, not from time to time, a lot, maybe more than 10 times. Shoot, maybe you helped this person a lot, and they have the nasty frowns, the audacity to be speaking filth or ill about you. They really tripping, for real. Now you have vitality in reverse. This is a Taurus, Aries, Leo, Libra, Gemini. They feel drained by life. Literally, vitality. They feel drained by life. Man. Then we have trust in reverse, Scorpio energy. Now they can't trust anything. You ain't got no life. I mean, you have no life. How you gonna trust? Life is light, right? Dark is life, light is life. I'm going to spin it from the light perspective. I'm just gonna put the dark to the side because that's a whole nother topic. But dark is life as well too. So don't forget that. But with the light of life, you need that to do things, to go, to get up, to whatever. However, you need the light. You need to know self. The more you know self, the more brighter you're going to become. They're like, dang, how you know that? I just know myself. You're a work of art, a unique work of art, not even a work of art, a masterpiece, a unique masterpiece of self. And they hated your masterpiece. They hated the way that you look, figuratively, literally speaking. They hated it. They hated your visions, literally, figuratively speaking. The masterpiece of self, they couldn't stand you. Whose fault is that? That's your fault? No, it's not. F no. They got nothing to do with you. And knowing so that don't have anything to do with you, don't allow anybody to muck up your masterpiece, meaning you. You are the masterpiece. Isn't there a certain painting, please help me out here. Isn't there a painting where it got messed up, but they still talk about it for like years and years, generations and generations to, you know, of course. Was it the Mona Lisa? I don't know, was the Mona Lisa? Hey, Cornelius. It was one of them real popular portraits. But anywho, wow, okay. Affection is in reverse. Okay? Affection is in reverse. Since they can't trust, you need to love yourself to trust yourself. You need to love yourself to trust yourself. Because if you don't, then do you love yourself enough that you can trust yourself? Ask yourself that. And if you say no, okay. But now you got ways to work on it, you know? Or you can take the steps to work on it. But you must love yourself in order to trust yourself. I'm telling you, got to. So someone that don't have love for self, talking about the karmic here, they don't have love for self. They don't trust themselves. Any type of love that comes towards them, they're very combative. They fight it. They think love is like yuck in that kind of way. Love don't exist. Love is da 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 da. You know, just trying to just break down love. And you just can't do that. You can't break down love because love is not something that can be broken. You just can't. I'm sorry. you just can't. But anywho, so with the vitality here, they have none. No vitality, no energy equals bad health. So of course, their life is going to feel drained. Or his or her. Imagine not trusting yourself. And this is how you know that they did not trust themselves. They kept calling upon other people to validate that what they were doing towards you was right. They knew what they was doing, man. They didn't trust themselves enough. But they were very intentional in making sure that other people could validate that what they were doing towards you were correct. Thank you. Thank you, Joy. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Love you. Thank you, boo. That was actually the first sign of distrust was themselves, but they didn't see it in that way. They said trust nobody. They always say that. Trust nobody. Not even yourself. Nobody means no one, including you. You're a part of this world too. So when you say things like that, trust no one, nobody, that means you don't trust your confirmation. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Don't say that. Seriously, don't say that. I don't trust nobody. Hey, I get it. When I say I get it, y'all, I get it. I can relate. I can resonate. I understand. I promise you, I can relate. I can relate. I can relate. But you gotta trust you, boo. You have to. How else are you going to navigate yourself in this world full of all different types of things going on? Foolishness, foolish things. You got to trust yourself. They need a group of people that also don't trust themselves. That's why they keep, yeah, we're going to get the collective. They sound ridiculous, man. They look ridiculous and they sound ridiculous. Trying to put you in some form of toxicity. Longevity is in reverse. Happiness, there's no happiness. Huh. My goodness. Happiness is Gemini and longevity is Scorpio. Y'all better catch this. Yeah, y'all better catch these nuggets. These nuggets I'm giving you. Wisdom is here, boo. I'm just saying. Leo energy. Somebody could be born the 22nd, August 22nd, or July 22nd. I don't know the cutoff dates for all the signs. I'm just being very honest with you. I don't know. So, but someone's a strong Leo here, or maybe you have you may have more than 5 placements of Leo in your chart, your astrological chart. Why you asking me that, Goon Squad? We have purification in reverse. What sign is that? Gemini, strong Gemini. So it could be a strong Gemini, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio too. Also Aries. So if they can't purify, there's no clarity. And if there's no clarity, there's no abundance. You need clarity to manifest. You need to be able to understand what you're intending to do. So if they're able to do something over and over and over and over and over and over again, that tells me that they understand what they're doing. Listen, hey, this is a new perspective. I'm always researching something, child. Abundance and clarity. Abundance upright, clarity in reverse. They didn't have the clarity to manifest, so since they didn't have it, they need it from somebody else. So they coming around with their unclean spirit. Purification is in reverse. Their spirit is not clean. And they're coming around you with their foulness to try to put you in the same predicament or situation as them. Lifeless. I didn't know it. You knew. You intended it. This group of people like to see people squirm in harm's way and people being hurt. They like to see that. They get off of that. That's why they keep doing it. It is important to ensure that you protect yourself spiritually. It's important. However way you do your thing, just make sure you do it. Memory is here. Memory is here. Strong Leo. What time is it? I gotta read in 5 minutes. All right. Let me see. That's what I was gonna say. You're gonna be getting a lot of your memory back from when you were young. When you were young, like I'm talking about like maybe 3, 4, maybe even 2. But you're going to get a lot of messages or a lot of moments. It may have started since the full moon in Scorpio. I think the moon is now in Sagittarius, but we have healing in memory. Yep. It's going to help you to move forward, or if you have not yet. That makes sense. Thank you, Spirit. So with the memory and wholeness here, I feel like the more memory you have of what happened, just like basically like the full scope of the full story, the more whole you can become. Is because there are many pieces to the puzzle that you couldn't understand or you may not have had at the time. And now that you're able to sit down and put all of the pieces together because of the memories that are coming back, it's allowing you or is putting you in a position to become very wholesome. Yep. Yep. And that's really the best gift that you can give to yourself. Is the gift of making sure you good. I'm saying. Good. I probably regeneration, child. If you're dreaming, make sure that you have a book beside your night bed or your nightstand or your bedstand, so that way you can write down your dreams. But look, you see how the card came out? Everything's just being confirmed in the way that it needs to be confirmed. The regeneration is beautiful on you or handsome on you. That makes sense? Hey. Yeah, the regeneration looks beautiful on you. And this is all that they're focusing on. Well, how do you know? Because the energy. They watching you like a hog, child, with no energy, no life. But yet they keep saying that you don't have any life. Child, please, somebody lying. You got a lot of life. You doing things. If not, you soon going to be doing things. But we going to put you in a position as if you're doing things. So you're doing things. And they're starting to see that. Oh, wow. Oh, dang. They weren't lying. A person that lies truly don't have any life, literally and figuratively speaking. They have no life. And it shows based on the lifeless decisions that they make. I have to go. I still got more reads to do. That's why I wasn't on at my regular time. I thank you guys so much for booking with me. Truly appreciate it. I have so many forms to go through on TikTok. Please give me a moment. I've been going through it. I should be done by the end of today. I'll get back to you guys. So look out for me with that. Let me see. Let me give a couple signs because I gotta go. All right, we got Aries. Aries again. Dang, strong Aries. Leo. Leo, dang, strong fire. You could be the fire. Maybe the fire was reignited within. Pisces, I'm going to do 2 more. Gemini. And Aquarius. Okay, so if that resonates, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Till next time. Mwah. Love you guys. Thank you. See y'all later. Bye, TikTok. Thank you. Bye, Instagram, Facebook. See you. Bye, YouTube. Love you. Thank you.